Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. Today, we are diving into a massive topic that affects every single person listening. The question is simple, but the answer is complicated. Is technology helping humanity, or is it slowly destroying us? I am personally very excited about this topic because I am a huge fan of technology.
And I am happy to be here too. However, I have to be the voice of caution today. I am not as excited as you are. I think we are moving too fast. Technology is powerful, yes, but I worry it is hurting us more than it is helping us in the long run.
I understand your worry, and it is valid, but let's look at the big picture first. Think about life just 100 years ago. It was incredibly difficult. People got sick easily, they died young, and they had to work physically hard just to survive the day.
That is true. Life was definitely harder in the past. I cannot argue with that.
Exactly. So humans took action. We used science and technology to build hospitals, invent antibiotics, and create machines to do the heavy lifting. The result is undeniable. We live longer now. We are safer. We have food security. How can you say technology is destroying us when it saves millions of lives every day?
I agree that medical technology is a miracle. I'm very glad we have doctors and modern hospitals. But let's look at the result for our minds, not just our bodies. Physically, we are safer than ever, but mentally, we are in a crisis. We are stressed, anxious, and exhausted.
What do you mean by stressed? Do you think technology causes that?
Absolutely. Because of smartphones, we never rest. The human brain needs quiet time, but now we are always checking emails, reading the news, or scrolling through social media. We are constantly compared to other people online. We fixed the problem of physical survival, but we created a new epidemic of mental unhappiness and depression.
That is an interesting point, but I believe that is a user problem, not a technology problem. We can choose to put the phone down. We have the power to turn it off.
Can we really? I think that's naive. These apps are designed by experts to be addictive. They hack our psychology to keep us looking. It is very hard for an average person to just stop. We are fighting against supercomputers, fighting for our attention.
Okay, I see your perspective. Let's switch to another area where I think technology is clearly the winner: education and knowledge.
Go ahead.
Before, if you wanted to learn something, you needed money, and you needed to be near a library or a school. Today, a student in a small village can learn coding, history, or mathematics using just a cheap smartphone. Google and YouTube have democratized information. Knowledge is free now. That is a massive victory for humanity.
It is a victory for access, yes, but is it a victory for learning? I'm not so sure. Because the answers are so easy to find, people stop thinking deeply. Students use ChatGPT to write their essays. They use Google to answer questions without understanding the why. We are creating a generation that knows how to search, but maybe forgets how to think critically.
I disagree. I think it shifts how we think. We don't need to memorize dates or facts anymore, which frees up our brains to solve complex problems. We are becoming more efficient.
Efficiency isn't everything, though. Let's talk about privacy. This is something that scares me. To use all these free tools you love, we are giving away our private data. Corporations know where we go, what we buy, and who we talk to. We are building a surveillance state.
That is the trade-off. We trade privacy for convenience. I let Google Maps track my location because I want it to tell me the fastest way to get to work to avoid traffic. It helps me. If you're not doing anything wrong, why are you so worried about data?
It's not about doing something wrong. It's about freedom. When you know you are being watched, you change your behavior. You become less free. And what if that data gets stolen or used against you? We are trusting tech companies with our lives, and their main goal is profit, not our safety.
That is a fair concern, and we definitely need better laws to protect data. But let's move to the topic of communication. In the past, if your family moved to another country, you lost contact. You were lonely.
Yes, distance was a tragedy in the past.
But now, we built the internet and video calling. I can see my friend in London instantly. I can talk to my parents on a video call every day. The result is that the world is connected. Technology keeps families together.
But does it really bring us together? I see a different result. Yes, we are connected online, but we are disconnected in real life. Look at a group of friends in a restaurant. Are they talking to each other? No, they are all looking at their phones.
I have seen that happen. It's a little sad, I admit.
It's very sad. We are trading real, messy, emotional conversation for shallow text messages. We are losing the ability to read body language. We have thousands of followers online, but we feel lonely in our own homes.
I think that requires balance, but consider the environment. This is huge.
Technology has caused a lot of damage to the environment. Factories and cars created climate change.
True, but technology is also the only thing that can fix it. We're developing solar panels, electric vehicles, and carbon capture technology. We cannot go back to living in caves. The only way out of the climate crisis is better technology.
That is a hopeful view, but technology also creates e-waste. Millions of old phones and laptops end up in landfills every year. We treat expensive machines like garbage. We buy a new phone every year just because it has a better camera. That consumer culture is destroying the planet.
We definitely need to recycle better. But let's talk about the economy and jobs. This is usually the biggest worry for people.
Yes, this is my biggest worry too.
The situation is that humans have limited energy. We cannot work 24 hours a day, so we created artificial intelligence, or AI. AI can work all day without stopping. It can solve problems fast. This makes our businesses grow and makes goods cheaper for everyone.
It makes businesses grow, yes, but what happens to the workers? If a computer can write code, drive a truck, or answer customer service calls, what happens to the humans?
That is a common fear, but look at history. When we invented cars, people who rode horses lost their jobs. But then we needed mechanics, drivers, and road builders. Technology destroys old, boring jobs, but it creates new, creative jobs.
I hope you're right, but the change is happening very fast now. A truck driver cannot become a computer programmer overnight. In the short term, many people will lose their dignity and their income. I think technology values efficiency and speed, but it does not value human stability.
That is why education, which we discussed earlier, is so important. We must learn to use the tools so we don't get replaced by them.
I agree with that. We cannot stop the future. We cannot smash the machines, but we must be smarter about how we use them.
So, what is our final conclusion? After looking at health, education, privacy, and jobs, is technology helping or destroying?
I think it's a double-edged sword. It cuts both ways. It helps our bodies and our knowledge, but it might be destroying our peace of mind, our privacy, and our social skills.
And I remain an optimist. I think it's mostly helping. It gives us superpowers. But I agree with you. We need to be careful. We should use technology to improve our lives, not to escape from real life.
Well said. It's all about balance. We need to be the masters of the technology, not the slaves.
Thank you for this debate. It gave me a lot to think about.
Thank you. It was a good discussion.
Goodbye, everyone, and see you in the next episode.